Well, I like the Falcons. I like the Falcons at home. They have shown, especially offensively, I mean, they were in the top 10 scoring offensive all time. In the divisional round after the rest, Matty Ice and what he's doing in Kyle Shanahan's offense, the mixture of a couple different offenses together. We know about Julio Jones. We know about the offensive weapons, couple running backs. The only way Seattle wins this game is two players, Cliff Averill and Michael Bennett. If they disrupt the passing of the Falcons, they can turn the tide in this game. I don't expect Seattle to get a bunch of turnovers. I think Seattle is going to be able to move the ball. I expect a high-scoring game. This is not the Seattle defense that we've been seeing. Not used to. They're giving up more big plays and creating less turnovers. But those two ball players, they can change the game for Seattle to be able to pull off the upset in Atlanta. I like the Dirty South. I like Atlanta to win at home. I'm going 33-30.
I picked the Falcons. I'm going 31-23, and I feel the best chance for the Seattle to win was Alfred Rawls do what he did against the Lions. Thomas Rawls, Alfred Rawls. Thomas Rawls. I ran track against a guy in high school named Alfred Rawls. But anyway, no.
That's why he remembers.
That's exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
He ran 10,400 meters. That was way back. That's 30 years ago.
I wonder where he is now.
He went to the University of Kentucky, but I don't think he's in.
He's getting a lot of airtime this morning.
He might be in the barbershop right now saying, they just...
Hell no. But I think Thomas Rawls is going to have a type game that he had against Detroit. I think in order for Seattle to slow this offense down, because as CC mentioned, this is not the Legion of Boom that we remember. Minus that makeup artist, Earl Thomas, a lot of big plays are being made on that defense. And so now all of a sudden, where you could take risks, you could take chances because you knew he could cover for you, you got to be true to who you are. But what Kyle has been able to do with Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, he can split these guys out. That means Wagner, that means KJ Wright, that means Cam Chancellor. Somebody's going to have to go cover these guys.
They will.
And I like Atlanta's ability to protect at home because the crowd noise won't be an issue. They did get him 4 times up there, but I think Atlanta will probably sack Russell Wilson more than Seattle will sack Matt
Good
Ryan.
point.
Vic Beasley is
Vic Beasley.
stud.
But you got to stop Rawls in order to be able to jump off the ball because Dwight Freeney, come playoff time, he's been resting. He'll put you in the spin cycle. He's good for 1 sack. I like a 31-23 ball game. I think Atlanta moves on to the NFC Championship.
I'm going lower scoring, different outcome than either one of you. I'm going with Seattle. I think they got their front-running swagger back against Detroit, who was just what the doctor ordered for this team that was teetering at the end of the year. And for them to do a 26-6 number on Detroit, I just think it helped them get back in the flow because Rawls finally got untracked. And he goes for 161, albeit against Detroit. But he's going to be the key to this game because Atlanta's defense got a little better at the end of the year, but it's not very good. And I can make a case it's the worst unit left in the playoffs. So if they can't stop Rawls, if he can go for a Zeke-like 130 or so and control the clock, it's going to come down to which quarterback you're going to bet your money on. And I'm going to bet mine on Russell Wilson over Matt Ryan. Because Matt Ryan, as we discussed earlier this week on the show, is 1-4 in the postseason. And he had a sensational year, but you guys keep telling me it's so different in the postseason. And now he's got so little success on his resume, I think he's going to be feeling a little heat, literally and truly, figuratively, from those two guys coming off the edge. And the point is that Russell Wilson is a big game playmaker.
He is.
I got to say, he just makes plays. And I don't love his offensive line, and they're going to have a hard time against Beasley and keeping him clean. But Russell Wilson looked the healthiest he's looked all week all year against Detroit.
Yes.
And if he can make some plays and they get Rawls going, I think they can keep Matty Ice off the field just the way the Cowboys can keep Aaron Rodgers off the field.
They were able to run the ball last week because it's Detroit's defense, but also because Detroit's offense couldn't score.
No.
Now, you don't have that with Atlanta.
Right.
And you start getting behind. I believe this is going to be more of a shootout. Going back to the first meeting this year that Seattle won, if anyone would watch the game, watch Michael Bennett. He got hurt during the game.
He did.
But he wrecked havoc. They didn't have anyone could block him. So for me, I'm looking for him. He's looking at the film. He knows there's not a good matchup. He knows he can move up and down the line. And I believe Cliff Averill is a really underrated player in Seattle's run.
But I look at I look at the Falcons and when you have a high-powered offense, normally your defense, because most of your money is on that side of the football, the Atlanta Falcons are built to play with the lead. When you play with the lead, you take the run element out of the game. So now Vic Beasley, now those guys, Dwight Freeney, can get off the ball and get to the quarterback. But as long as you keep them in the ball game and they can run their conventional offense, see, this is why I believe the Packers, they will jump out on the Cowboys and take Zeke out of it. But as long as you leave them in the ball game and they can run the ball, and you got to sit there, because the only difference between the Broncos this year and the Broncos last year, they never got the lead. When you get the lead and you can turn those people, your playmakers loose, and that's what Seattle does. Seattle gets the lead, and then here come Bennett, here come Averill screaming up the field. But now all of a sudden, when you down 14, when you down 17 points, you can't run the football. So guess what? Atlanta can still run the football. Don't think they just got to drop back and have Matty Ice throw the ball 45, 50 times. They can run it with Coleman and Freeman. They got a Pro Bowl, they got an all-pro receiver, Julio. Matt Ryan's the Pro Bowl, all-pro quarterback, and they got Devontae Freeman, who's going to the Pro Bowl. They are very, very dangerous. You don't score 540 points by accident, CC.
No, I think they're the highest scoring all time.
Yes.
All time. So I know that because I was on one of those other teams or two. Yeah, that'll get you through the divisional round. That's enough to get you through the divisional round.
See what he said?
That'll get you through the divisional
It
round.
will, but your kicker has to make the big kick to win the next game. It just will. Thank you. So here's my question. Has Richard Sherman not been in the spotlight all year for sometimes the right and sometimes the wrong reason? He's in the spotlight again because I want to see him on that guy you just talked about.
No.
I want
No,
to
you
see
don't
him.
wanna
Yes,
see
I
him.
do.
No, you
I
don't.
want to do.
No.
I want to see what he's made of.
You want him exposed?
I want to see him travel, as you call it. I want to see him go sideline to sideline with Julio.
Hey, well, he better hope he get delayed and he don't make that flight. Because if he traveling and falling number 11 in the Georgia Dome, bad thing.
Yeah, but listen, when you travel, though, you put the other corner in a predicament, too. But you also give me more information what the defense is.
Right.
Traveling is not always the best way to do it because I get more information of what you're in and that other corner, who's sometimes a buster, then you can single that guy out and get after him.
Because here's the thing, though, Skip. The thing is about traveling is that most corners stay on one side and they backpedal.
They have a dominant leg.
Now,
So now they got to switch up their other legs up.
Okay, but did you not call for Josh Norman to
Yeah.
travel to earn his money,
Yes,
right?
But here's the thing, though, Skip. He got paid, rightfully so, because when you're a free agent, in order to get you to leave the situation you're in, the team has to overpay. Nobody thought that Josh Norman was a top 5 corner. He's an area corner. He's not a man corner.
I said it
Right.
from the
So
start, okay?
Josh can do all that talking all he wants to. He can like, well, I got paid. Rightfully so. You are a free agent, and teams always overpay. Because if they don't overpay, why would you leave a situation that you know what you're in?
Right. And the numbers indicate Richard Sherman is still real special when he plays left corner.
Yes.
When he stays on the left side, their defense is better. He is better.
But he ain't got no makeup artist behind him anymore, right?
I understand, but
Okay.
when he's on the left side, he's still a special corner. Now, when he travels, he's still good, but Julio is not to be fooled with.